What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about when the Burning Crusade and the pre-patch for Burning Crusade could potentially be launching for Classic WoW Anniversary Realms. For those of you who don't know, I've gotten a lot of comments, people not even understanding that this was a thing. Yes, the Burning Crusade is going to be coming at the end of the Anniversary Realms. We have Naxxramas coming on October 2nd, and then after that, we'll be progressing into the pre-patch for the Burning Crusade, and then the Burning Crusade itself. So yes, it is real. A lot of you have been commenting on my videos that I guess really didn't know that this was a thing and that Anniversary Realms were progressing to the Burning Crusade, but yes, they are, and no, Classic Era Realms are not. Those are just Classic Era Realms, the way that they are. If you do want to play in the Burning Crusade this time around, you do need to be playing on the Anniversary Realms. However, for those of you who maybe haven't played yet, now is a great time to play. There's a ton of people leveling up, and I do believe that there's been some data mines indicating that there will be a level 58 boost that you probably can purchase sometime during the pre-patch or with the launch of pre-patch. That is not confirmed by Blizzard, but there's been some data mines indicating that, and we had that the first time around as well. So without further ado, we're going to dive on into an awesome Wowhead article that Jerdy actually had written today. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys. I'll bring it over right here. Okay, so here's the article that I want to go over. When will the Burning Crusade pre-patch release on Classic Anniversary servers? Jerdy wrote this article. Actually was really, really good. I was reading it earlier. So I'm going to skim through this for you guys. We'll read some of the bits here, but there's actually some actual good information here indicating when it could be launching, right? So we'll start off right here. With Phase 6 of Classic Anniversary set to release on October 2nd, players are now on the final step before venturing once again into Outland. But this begs the question, when exactly will the Burning Crusade launch on the Classic Anniversary Realms? Reddit user Ozzy Roy has now gotten every single phase release either exactly correct or only off by 1 week. If we're staying true to his assumptions, then according to him, we could see the Burning Crusade release on February 10th, 2026. And then this is like a sheet here indicating, like, comparing the 20th anniversary versions to the 2019 versions. And then it says on average phases for the 20th anniversary versions, which are what we're playing now, are 31% faster. The yellow cells are projections based on that figure. So if you guys want to pause the video here and take a look at this for yourselves. But basically what they're saying is that we could potentially be getting the Burning Crusade to release on February 10th. So to continue reading, this assumes that we will have an 18-week Phase 6, which also includes a 2 weeks of TBC pre-patch. We could see a shorter Naxxramas phase to push out the Burning Crusade faster, but some factors will need to be considered when looking into the release date. Along with TBC Anniversary, we also have patch 5.2 in Mists of Pandaria with the Throne of Thunder raid, and Blizzard's newest expansion in Modern WoW or Retail WoW, Midnight, releasing early next year as well. Perhaps Blizzard may look at staggering these to allow players to experience more versions of WoW. And then we have a picture here of the roadmap that they released last year. I don't know if you guys remember this, but they released it when they announced the Anniversary Realms and all that. And it shows here the Burning Crusade coming in winter/spring. So February kind of does make sense, right? I know a lot of people wanted it to be by the end of this year, but unfortunately, I don't really think that's going to be the case. So if we continue on reading, based on the consistent rhythm of how Blizzard tends to release major content patches/expansions, it does look like all three of these versions of WoW could have their new content releases close to each other. Blizzard could consider an earlier release of TBC to try and prevent these three versions of the game from dropping their latest content at the same time. And then there's a nice little graph here showing Classic Anniversary, MoP, and the War Within, and the content patch that were on that was last dropped, showing here that we did July 10th for a queue. For MoP, we did July 21st for the expansion full release, and then the War Within August 5th for patch 11.2. So there's a little bit of a staggering going on there, and it makes sense. How long will the pre-patch be this time? Another thing to consider is how long or short the TBC pre-patch could also be. Back in 2021, players only had 2 weeks of the pre-patch before the Dark Portal reopened. This sparked a very vocal outcry from the Classic community as players were hoping to have a longer time to level their new Draenei and Blood Elf characters. If the February 10th date is accurate, we could be getting a longer pre-patch. Below, we have a pre-patch prediction graph based on a February 10th TBC release date. So now the first prediction would be a 16-week Naxxramas with a 2-week pre-patch, and that would give us a pre-patch release date of January 27th. Naxxramas being 14 weeks would give us a 4-week pre-patch, giving us pre-patch on January 13th. And then Naxxramas being 12 weeks could give us a 6-week pre-patch, and that would give us pre-patch on January 1st. Immediately, we see that a 12-week window is extremely unlikely. First 6 weeks is probably too long for a pre-patch, and then 12 weeks is too short for Naxxramas. It takes a long time, guys, for people to get their Tier 3. Secondly, that would put TBC pre-patch on January 1st, New Year's Day. The earliest we'll probably see the pre-patches around the 14-week mark or January 13th. And this kind of goes right in line with our predictions that we were talking about last week, guys. If you remember, this is what we were saying. We came up with our 2 predictions, right? Our mid-January pre-patch launch, which would give us a 2-week pre-patch, giving us like a first week of February TBC launch. And then we were saying maybe pre-patch will come even later, like end of January, and we'll get TBC like 2 or 3 weeks after that, kind of midway or late February. But either way, I think that this is an accurate window. We've been talking about it now for weeks. I think that this makes a whole lot of sense. Should we help this guy right here? Let's help him out. Come here. I got you. There you go, brother. I think it makes sense, right? I think that Blizzard isn't going to release TBC right at the holidays or around the holidays. For a minute there, I was thinking it is possible, and I still have a bit of this being a possibility in my brain of them maybe dropping pre-patch in like the beginning of December, or even like halfway through December, letting people enjoy pre-patch and level their new characters throughout the holidays, throughout the holiday vacation and all that good stuff. And then, coming back and after New Year's dropping TBC, right? Give us like a 3 or 4 week pre-patch right through the holidays while people are off from work. I think that would drum up a lot of hype, but I'm not really sure if that's what's going to happen. It is definitely a possibility though. So it's possible that we get a pre-patch in maybe December and then TBC launch in January. But, as Jerdy was saying in that article, that Ozzy Roy over on Reddit has pretty much been almost spot on for every single release so far. So if that's the case, he's probably right. We're looking at like a February 10th or February 12th release date for TBC, meaning that the pre-patch would be 2 to 3 weeks before that, unless Blizzard's, planning on giving us a longer pre-patch. I do kind of hope that they do. I know that every single time something is coming out, we say this and we hope for that longer pre-patch, but we usually only get 2 weeks. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of silly not to give a longer pre-patch, especially for TBC, and especially, it takes a long time to level, even once TBC pre-patch hits. People are going to want to level Blood Elf Paladins, the Draenei Shamans, and all that good stuff. So I think giving those people, 3 to 4 or 5 weeks, maybe even of pre-patch, especially around the holidays, people would really enjoy that. A lot of people would come back and resub just to experience that. And I don't think it would be a bad thing, but those are our options. We're either getting pre-patch. This is my hope. We're either getting pre-patch in December with a January TBC launch, or we're getting pre-patch in January with a February TBC launch. That is, those are the only 2 ways this works out. And I really am hoping for the first one. I'm hoping that we get pre-patch in December. I think it would be a lot of fun to be leveling in pre-patch around the holidays. I just think it's the perfect time to do it. Everyone loves leveling up when they're off from work or whatever. And a lot of people take off around the holidays. So again, the holidays are busy. People have, traveling. People are having people come over, family coming over to their houses. So I could see why Blizzard wouldn't do it. And most likely Blizzard employees themselves are taking a lot of vacations around that time, because that's completely normal too, right? So that would be a reason why they wouldn't do that. And at that point in time, if we're not in pre-patch, Naxxramas, phase 6 will pretty much just be on autopilot, so they don't need to worry about anything going wrong or whatever. So I would say it's about a 75% chance we're getting pre-patch in mid-January, TBC launch in early February. And then there's like a 25% chance that we get pre-patch in December for the holidays. And then right after New Year's, a TBC launch. Either way works out. It's pretty cool. Kind of sucks that it's still months and months away. I feel like we're so close to TBC, and this is really what everyone wants. But we still got to wait like another 4 months or so, right? So it is what it is. It happens. And, there's other things coming out that we're excited for as well. I mean, Arc Raiders, I don't know if anyone here, plays other games. I'm excited for Arc Raiders on October 30th. That's going to be sick. Tarkov's going 1.0 release in November. I love Tarkov a lot. I'm definitely going to play that a little bit, and just continue raiding on Anniversary with the guild. For anyone who is, jumping into Anniversary now for the first time, or if you need a home or whatever, we're on Night Slayer in US. On Horde side, we have a guild called the Tavern. We've been the Tavern since the beginning of Season of Discovery. If you're looking for a place to level up with people, I think we started a movement like a month ago, started from scratch, and we have over 200 members now. I think about 30 of us have hit 60 already, with people hitting 60 every single day, and then other people still leveling in the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. So if you're looking for a home, definitely hit me up. Just whisper Hammer Dance on Night Slayer when I'm on, generally on at nighttime. When I stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern over on Kick. So go give me a follow on there. We're pushing partner. We are going to be probably partnered by the end of this week if I could keep my numbers up. So if you want to support me in any way, tune into the live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern time over on Kick. Monday through Friday when we go live. We will be going live tonight, obviously, when you guys watch this video. Tonight we'll be live. So come hang out over there. And if you love Classic WoW as much as me, just drop a sub here on the channel and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. But anyways, guys, that's really it. That's all I've got to talk to you guys about. I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of let down a little bit too because I'm like, man, this is not close enough. I want it to be right now. But either way, I'm not going to ramble. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you guys on my stream. Peace out.